Hello and welcome to the Lorna Marie Fitness Podcast, the show where we talk all things fitness, health, mindset and lifestyle to help you become fitter, healthier and happier. I help busy people who lack time, motivation and self-belief to look and feel great again. If you want to work with me, head over to lornamariefitness.co.uk, but for now, enjoy this episode. Well, a very warm welcome to the podcast, Supermum Lydia. How are you today? Are you all right?
I am good, thank you. I'm good.
Good. Now, Lydia is an absolute supermum, and we've just been talking about how we've been switching off this weekend, which I think is a really, really important thing to do, switching off and having fun. But also, I just wanted to get Lydia on to chat all about her journey with fitness. So, Lydia, if we could just maybe if we take it way back to begin, kind of where you first started on your fitness journey, and then we'll take it to where you are now and what you're working towards and everything. Just a general chit chat.
Yeah, so I first saw you kind of popped up on my Instagram. You were an advert on there, and it's one of those, normally you just see all these adverts and you just pop along and whatnot, but I think it was the fact you were local and you were just bursting with energy, and I was just like, oh, who's this woman, sort of thing. I was like, there wasn't a way I followed Lorna, but that kind of prompted me to message you and have a chat. And it was almost like one of those moments of just, I'm so glad I just sent that message in the right place, right time, because I don't think I would have put fitness as some sort of priority on what I needed at that time. So I think I was just looking back at my messages, and it was May last year, so it's almost a year now, and I had kind of just gone through so many different life events that had just left me kind of burnt out, to say the least, emotionally, mentally, logistically. We just moved house, had just kind of lost members of my family. The children were starting school. It was just, I was rock bottom, and kind of recognized that I needed to take steps to make myself better, but hadn't really considered that fitness was a necessary part of that. So I just taken the steps to get some talking therapy to kind of work on my mental health. And what I think shocked me, and the thing that I'm most grateful for that I took that leap of faith, is those things happening at the same time. So when I say those things, like starting my fitness journey with you and also working on my mental health, because those things just made each of them so much better. One, like, having my talking therapy and then waking up in the morning to have some me time and do my fitness, they both just amplified each other. And I got so much better so much quicker, because I was looking after myself holistically. It wasn't just right, okay, work on your mental health and then work on your fitness. It was actually, no, those two things are so complementary to each other. And yeah, it just, I've not looked back, both from a physical and mental health perspective. I've never been in a better place, and I'm just so grateful that those things, it was one of those kind of serendipity moments of that advert popping up and me just taking that leap of faith. I actually read back the message, and I remember saying to you, I was like, yep, let's do it. And then kind of brackets takes leap of faith. And I'm just so glad I did, because there's kind of like a before that moment and then after that moment, Lydia, and it's two very different people.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that with us as well, and sharing that you did do the talking therapy, and that also really, really helped.
Yeah.
I think more people need to talk about that kind of thing. So thank you for being so open. And I've been following your journey on Instagram through that and through the fitness, and I can personally see such a remarkable difference in where you're at right now. And I don't know if anyone else has noticed, like around you. I do get that quite often, quite often a lot of people say to me, it's not just me and how I feel. They're noticing at work or noticing at home. Have you found that too?
Yeah, I'd say the certainly my friends and definitely family as well, my husband. And to be fair, I think the biggest compliment that I've had is the children noticing. So I've got two little ones. I've got a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and it makes me laugh actually. They've noticed that kind of fitness has become a part of my life, because the other day they were eating their tea, and I popped into the lounge and just was sitting down and just kind of collecting my thoughts and just having a bit of time whilst they were eating their tea. And I came back in, and my youngest said, "Did you enjoy your class, mummy?" Because they just assumed that that was now part of our daily life, and it's what I do. And even in the morning, because I try and get my classes in the morning, you know, it's just natural to them now that I'm downstairs doing my class and I'll come back up and a hot, sweaty mess, and they're like, "Did you enjoy it, mummy?" And I think it's them kind of seeing fitness be a part of my life and seeing the positive impact it's having on me. So yeah, I think they're the biggest people that, you know, because children are very honest. They're very, very black and white. They will say it as they see it. So for them to notice, um, but yeah, it's certainly, I think it's not just people noticing, but it's how I've recognized how I'm being with other people as well, because I'm looking after myself. And yeah, just all round, I think when you feel good, you attract good. And that's certainly been something that I've recognized has been happening.
Yeah. And that's just the best feeling ever, isn't it?
Yeah.
And alongside that, your kids noticing not just how you're showing up and how it's become part of the norm, for them, it's become part of their norm. And I'm sure they're going to
Mhm.
grow up, you role modeling an active lifestyle. They're going to grow up to
Yeah.
think this is just part of what you do. And that's
Yeah.
great. And I feel like that's the way that it should be as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well done to you for doing that. I do
Thank
think that is one of the pros of online, the fact that your kids are there and they can see you doing it on a
you.
on a day to day.
Mhm.
That's really, really great.
No, they quite often want to pinch my yoga mat as well, and asked the other day if they could do yoga. And I put like a YouTube kids one on, and they were like, "No, no, no, the proper one," and they wanted your yoga. So
Oh,
yeah, no, it's a family affair. It really is.
that is such a compliment.
Yeah, no, they were like, "None of that kiddie stuff. We want the proper stuff."
Yeah, I want Lorna stuff, the
Yeah,
real
yeah, you've
stuff.
got some yoga scape advocates in my too.
Amazing. Good. I am glad to hear it. So, what are your favorite classes, Lydia, at the moment? What are your go-tos?
Yeah, so I'm very, very motivated by music. That's just it has such an impact on my mood and kind of my energy levels as well. So naturally kind of that goes with Zumba. You know, I do love Zumba, but um the best exercise device I've ever purchased is my step. Like I love my step. I mean the kids love it too. Jamie, sorry, my little boy Lincoln builds train tracks on it. But when I can get the train track off, I love a step class. But yeah, any of the themed ones with like I did the boy band one the other day with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and the Britney, the nostalgia of that. You genuinely forget you're working out when you're connected with the music as well.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so I really enjoy the cardio side of things, but certainly when I was on my healing journey, the and when we were doing the class challenge of doing a certain number of classes in a month, that forced me to kind of diversify a bit and have a dabble in some other ones. So I've certainly got a newfound respect for yoga and particularly yoga scape, because they are not words you would ever hear come out of my mouth once upon a time. And I think I joined the squad and the things that I felt comfortable with, the cardio, and I think I'm now recognizing that the other bits are part of your health as well, and they matter, and you don't just have to go hard on the cardio all the time. So yeah, I'm definitely more open and tell myself, no, you can do that, because I just always rip myself off. I'm not flexible, I can't do that. And yeah, it's certainly opened my horizons as to what fitness can involve. So yeah, I do love the cardio, but I am very open-minded to sampling the other bits. And I think that's the joy of the range of things online, is that you can just sample and dabble. I'm not walking into a room full of yoga bunnies and I'm walking in having no idea what I'm doing. Actually, I'm in my lounge and I'm just trying to figure it out. So I love that.
Yeah, it's a real safe place to try a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that you've tried different things as well, because it is all about that all-round health. The cardio is great for your heart health. Like you said, it's the feel-good music, it's the
Mhm.
upbeat stuff. But then you've got the yoga scape for more the mind, body, and yeah, practicing that flexibility so we don't get injured. And then you said
Mhm.
about the booty band as well, which is an
Yeah.
absolute killer. And step, actually, you really do feel a step on your legs.
Yeah, yeah.
I think you
No, I,
do.
re- I remember when I did my first step class, and I think I might have even done two of them back to back. And unfortunately, my husband actually ended up going in hospital the next day with needing some emergency surgery. And I was doing the steps in the hospital, and I was like, why did I do it on the day that I chose to do a double step class? That I was doing the steps at the hospital, and yeah, it took a bit of recovery after that, both for me and him, for me to get back on that step. But no, I love it. I love that you can just dip in and out at any type of class, and if you're having a day where it's like, right, no cardio today, there's still, thousands of other things you can do and still feel like you've had a workout.
Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. Now, I would love to know, because I know you're so busy, like with work and with the kids. How do you fit it all in? What's your technique? How do
Yeah.
you do it?
So I recognized, I think it was maybe during the COVID and lockdown, that morning is my me time before everybody's up, before, the house is awake. That little bit of golden time in the morning is my me time. And that's when I get my exercise in. I think you're so out of control of what can happen in the day, and you tell yourself, oh, after work when I get home, you've no idea how work's going to be or how you're going to feel. Or I guess it's the time of day where you've got the most control because nothing's happened yet. So yeah, I set my alarm early, and it's only half an hour before the kids are up. But that difference to how you start your day is just, it's completely changed my day-to-day life. And it's done. You know what I mean? You've not got any of the day impacting you. You've not got, kind of just feeling burnt out, or, that was really rubbish, I'm really not in the mood for it. It's done and it's there. So even on the days where I've really not wanted to, I've really tried to push through and said, you will feel better for it, do it. And it's really, really noticeable on the days that I haven't done that morning workout, because I've been in a mindset of, oh, well, I'm not at work today, I'll do it later. My headspace has been so different for that entire day. And sometimes in the past, I kind of got to that mid-afternoon, I'm like, why can't I get out of this rut today? And it's 9 times out of 10 it's because I've not woken up and done that morning class. So yeah, that is just, it's golden time. It's done. It's a time you can control, and it's just a real good way to start your day. It
Yeah.
really, really is. It's protected time. It's my time.
Yeah, absolutely. You start your day by winning. You've done
Mhm, mhm,
something good for you. You filled your cup up before the
mhm.
day's even started. So then you're ready to serve everything and everyone else because you've had that you time, like you said,
Yeah,
that
it really,
protected time.
you're empowering yourself for the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, no, that's such a good point.
Mm.
Now, I'd love to know as well, kind of what we were speaking about earlier, sort of the mental health side of things that people don't really talk about so much.
Mhm.
If you're having an off day or a rubbish day or a day where you're just not feeling good in yourself, what do you normally do? What are your go-to things to do? Say if someone's listening to this and they feel like they have days where they're just not feeling great in themselves, what is your go-to thing or go-to things to do to help with that?
I'd say it's probably recognizing the things that you know are good for you, that as much as you want to slip into habits of just kind of getting that quick fix, whether that be, kind of binging on some food or just sitting on the sofa and doing nothing for ages, they don't help. Like, I've been there and I've done that. And, granted, still at times I'll be guilty of that, just kind of doing the kind of the almost like the laziest option. And it's recognizing that even when you feel like there's nothing left, if you can just savor that little bit to make the right decision to do something that you know will be good for you, instead of something that you think you want to do, but actually in an hour or 2 hours time, because you've not been productive with your time or not done something that's actually filling your cup up, you will actually feel worse. So yeah, I think it's recognizing, trying to be productive in a way that is still allowing you to rest if you need it, but you're making yourself feel better. So, like I say, I can be guilty of just, kind of getting something I want to eat that I know I really shouldn't, and just sitting and watching TV for hours, and you don't actually feel any better after it. So I try, a workout is very much something that I know, especially if it's one of my favorite classes that I've saved. And I've tried to get into the habit of that, and making sure they're not all the really hard ones. Making sure there's just one that has really good, feel good music. The Britney one is one in particular, because the nostalgia of that, it just
Yeah.
fills my cup up. But even if I'm not in the headspace for that, it's even just writing a to-do list and getting some of that done, or just finding something that is giving you a bit of a break, but is still going to be a little bit productive. I think wasted time will never make you feel better. So no matter what it is you choose to do, just make sure it's still actually it got that little bit of productivity in it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that's probably the ways that I try and get myself out of a rut, let's say.
Yeah, they're really, really good tips. Thank you for sharing that. it is just about just making those small steps where you feel like you're going somewhere, but closer to your future self, which is something we were speaking about. How would your future self act? What are the things that they would do in this moment?
Yeah.
And as you said, we're all human at the end of the day. We're gonna slip up sometimes, but it's about the progress over time, isn't it? And yeah, rather than that instant gratification, almost working on the delayed gratification, knowing that you're going to feel so much better in the future.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think it's
really, really
recognizing habits, cause and effect. I think you maybe wanting that quick fix, but then actually the next day recognize after that quick fix, I didn't feel any better. If anything, I felt worse because I'd wasted time.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely recognizing behaviors and patterns, and something that when I did have my talking therapy, that was something that really stuck with me. It's like there is filling your cup up, and if having that time on the sofa and watching something fills your cup up, but make sure it doesn't get to the point of where it's actually emptying your cup because you're wasting time. So it's that productivity. Yes, it's important to fill your cup, but make sure it's not actually, when you're leaving it, it's making you feel worse because you've eaten into other time of things you wanted to and needed to get done. So it's finding that balance between me time being resourceful and good for you versus actually you just wasting time and delaying all those other things that need to be done. So it's just recognizing, I think, your behaviors and how they make you feel after you've done those things.
That's a really good point, because there is almost the other side of the coin where you feel guilty for sitting down and relaxing when actually no, that is time that you need as well. So it's about working out the right balance for you, and that's going to come with trial and error. But also I feel like you know yourself better than anyone. You know what is right and what's right for you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And I guess my next question would be, have you got anything in particular you're working towards this year, or is it kind of maintaining what you're doing, or have you got any events or any challenges in the squad that you're going to do?
So the biggest thing that made me start, kind of the journey with you was weight loss. And that's still very much, something that is kind of in my mind, but I wouldn't say it dominates the decisions I make every day in terms of, the classes I do or the food I eat, because I think it can be such a punishing word sometimes, I think, weight loss, and that just, it can consume you. And actually I find weight loss happens when you're enjoying yourself, when you're actually making the decisions that are right for you, because it's such a mindset thing, because it is pointless just burning out on a cardio class and then kind of binging on a load of food later because your head's not in the right space. So I've kind of put that as a that'll be a byproduct of me getting healthier and getting fitter. And I think that's a kind of been a big eye opener for me since joining the squad, is that weight loss is something that can happen whilst you're getting healthier. I think I've recognized that losing weight in an unhealthy way just isn't good for your fitness. It isn't going to extend your life. It's just gonna, it's going to deprive your body basically. So I think, yeah, certainly continue with the more open mindset of getting holistically healthier, instead of just, kind of work out and eat salad, and it's not sustainable. So yeah, I always have in the back of my mind that I want to get healthier and fitter. That's will forever be my, my consistent goal, instead of what it used to be in the past of, you need to be this size and you need to be, it's just not what I want for myself anymore. And it's also not what I want the children to see me do. Just that constant criticism of your body and how it needs to change shape. It's actually, no, look after your body, look after your mind, look after all of it. And then you will get healthier as that journey progresses. But a little byproduct of what I really, really want to achieve, and I spoke to my other half about it the other day, is I want to do a press up that's not on my knees. Like that's just something I want to do. And for me, that's just I'll do the classes, and I will always do the adaptive version because I know that's not something I can do. But every time I just try and make it that little bit harder for myself, and that's kind of just like something I want to focus on. And like I said, it's the weight loss comes on the side whilst you're focusing on that fitness. So yes, a press up. I'm hoping this year is the year of the press up. I will get a press up done.
It will be, Lydia. Just stay consistent doing what you're doing, and then you're going to do that press upon your toes. And then we need to do another podcast episode where it's like, I've done it. This is what you need to do if you want to.
I won't say anything. I'll just do press ups. Yeah,
Honestly,
no,
I
I
wish.
will be doing a press up.
Yes, do definitely. You will be able to, promise. Just keep consistent. The only reason you wouldn't be able to do it is if you give up too early. And
Mhm,
so many
mhm,
people do that with so many different things, with fitness journeys, with weight loss journeys, with getting
mhm.
stronger. Because as humans, we don't like doing the hard stuff. We just
Yeah,
want that instant gratification.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
you just keep trusting the process, stay consistent, and 100% you'll get there.
yeah.
Everything you were saying a minute ago, I just wish that I could package it up and put it on like in a little bow and give it to everyone as a gift, because it's so important. Everything you were saying there, that you can enjoy the journey, and
Mhm,
it's just about being kind to you, nourishing your mind, your body, and your soul.
mhm,
And
mhm.
yeah, you keep doing that, you stay consistent, you have your little goals like getting stronger and your push up, your one push up, and the weight loss will just happen. You'll be like, oh, okay, well, that's quite nice. That's a nice
Mhm,
surprise. But in the
mhm.
meantime, you're feeling more energized, you're feeling better in yourself, you're getting stronger. Your
Mhm.
kids are noticing,
Yeah.
your family's noticing, everyone's benefiting. So I think it's so, so important that you said that. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. I think the biggest thing is just to remember why you're doing it. No, don't do it for a number on the scales. Don't do it for, you don't have to fit in that dress. I think that can become a bit too obsessive.
Mm,
And you're forgetting the bigger, wider picture of why you're doing it. And the reason I do my exercise around the kids, or I'm very open with them about it, is because I want that reminder that they're the reason I'm doing it. I want to live a long life and see my grandchildren, and I want to be around for them. So, it's just always remember the bigger picture of why you're doing it, and not just that instant, I want that number, because
yeah.
you'll punish yourself to get there.
Yeah, exactly. No, you want to be the mum and the grandma who's doing push-ups with them on your back, right?
Well, baby steps, baby steps.
Oh, Lydia, thank you so much for coming and chatting to me
Thank
today.
you.
Let's get you on your toes doing that push-up. But in the meantime, I just want to say well done and just
Thank you very
keep on
much.
doing what you're doing. You're amazing.
Thank you. That means a lot.